Dual Sport Adventure riding in bad weather. Can you get your head wrapped around it? How do you get your head wrapped around it? Or do you just get a hotel room and wait the weather out? Well, I got a couple of things that I want to talk about that may help you on your next adventure whenever you're out there and the weather turns bad. Next on the Radio 690 ADV. KTM North Texas is your headquarters for everything KTM and your one-stop shop. Hey guys, Joe here, 690 ADV. Are you looking for a new KTM bike? Yeah, they got them. They got adventures, enduros, dirt, racing, street, parts and service? Yeah, they got it. KTM North Texas is one of the largest aftermarket parts suppliers and repair shops in the state of Texas. Yeah, Texas. They don't just service KTM. They service most every major brand out there. If you're needing a fix or just getting race ready, you needing some new gear? Yeah, KTM North Texas, they got it. From helmets to jackets, pants, boots, goggles, tires, rims, new plastics, and so much more. So if you want great deals and to be treated just like family, don't wait. Call 817-275-2228 or text 682-465-6637. Or you can just email Bert directly at bert@slmracing.com. Don't forget, tell him 690 ADV sent you. That way you get your discount. Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Joe here, Radio 690 ADV. Happy day, happy day. Hopefully everybody had a fantastic, wonderful holiday. Got some time off of work. Didn't have to sit there and grind out too much during the holiday. Hopefully got to take some of that time off, recharge your batteries, and get ready for the next push right into Christmas so that you can spend all that money on your kids. Or, if you're single, spend all that money on yourself. Anyway, thank you very much to KTM North Texas. They're a great supporter of the channel. And thank you to everybody else that is a great supporter of the channel and our podcast and our videos and everything like that. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you click that subscribe button and click that little bell down there if you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube. That way you get updates of what's going on. If not, just go ahead and subscribe to us on Spreaker, iTunes, Google Podcast, any of those, or any of the platforms that you like to use. You can catch all of our podcasts. We'll try to get back to normal. It probably will be after the holidays, just right now with football. I love football and all the things that are going on. I'm sure you guys have a million things going on as well. I'll try to get back on track around January. Right now, it's more about family, what time I can get into ride, and doing the things that I do that try to bring other enjoyment to my life other than making podcasts and videos. Adventure riding, weather. How do you get your head wrapped around it? Or do you get your head wrapped around it? I think is a big deal. If you've ever been adventure riding, and I've been on many adventure rides, and it doesn't even have to be an adventure ride in order to get yourself kind of caught in into a situation to where you are caught in weather. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like, severe weather or something like that, like tornadic or hail or anything like that. You could just be caught, where you're riding and you're just looking in the direction that you're going and you can just see it over the horizon. And that that's probably only 50, maybe 75 miles away. But you just started your day. I've had that happen on many occasions. So you pull over at a gas station, you look at the radar. If you have a radar app, which I suggest everybody should have, and you notice that it's a bunch of rain. And riding in rain is one of those things that it's first off, it's not fun at all, especially on a motorcycle. It's bad enough in a car. It's really bad on a motorcycle. And it can really mentally get in your head, and especially for long periods of it. And one of the worst is whenever it rains and then it stops and then it rains, and then it stops, but you get like 30, 40-minute blasts. It's all day. It's really not a whole lot of fun. I've been on multiple trips out east, and I've also had them out west where it's done that, for all day, for multiple days. And, real adventure riding, if you ever watch my videos, you'll hear me periodically say, like, there's a few times that I've had to actually go and shoot my videos, and it's cold and it's raining. And, real adventure riders, you don't get to pick and choose. Sometimes it just happens. As long as it's not a dangerous situation, we ride. I mean, that's it. We evaluate like anyone else. But one of the big kickers is to, assess the situation and, just see if it's even really something that you want to tackle, as long as it's not a bad situation. I was in one time that it rained literally all day. It was in 2015, and we were out west, coming through Arizona, Utah, and it just literally off and on all day for 2 days. And it mentally it'll beat you down and just beat you down. But we always try to find ways to, get our head wrapped around it. We had to pull over many times at gas stations, rest areas, get underneath the pavilions to get out of the weather. And then you're starting and you're stopping and you just feel like you're not getting anywhere. You've got a plan. You have your map set up of where you want to be for the evening, and the whole time while you're riding, not only are you mentally broke down and you're having to stop more often than you'd like to, the day's getting away from you, and then you're trying to figure out, where do we camp? Everything's wet. Can we get a fire? How cold is it going to be tonight? Where are we actually going to be tonight? Because we don't know where we're going to be at. And that is a hard thing to get your head wrapped around. So if you are new to adventure riding and you need to understand that these things do happen, they can happen. So here really are the things that we like to do, because we're usually in a group. We're not going solo. Some guys do like to go solo. We try to just have the most fun that we possibly can with the situation that's been given to us. The time that we were caught in the one out west, this is just one time. We were all rained up and all geared up, and I'll tell you how it all ended up at the end of the day, here in just a second. But what we did, it was 4 guys. We were on the Indian reservation, and it just so happens that we found a rest area, and it was coming down so hard we couldn't see. We're completely drenched. It'd been raining all day. Night was upon us, and we were kind of between a rock and a hard place. We really wanted to camp, but we were afraid we wouldn't be able to make fire. Temperature was dropping. It's probably in the 50s, just pouring rain. Well, we were underneath the pavilion for at least an hour and a half, and it's still just pouring rain. And these kids came that lived close by, and they were on skateboards and all this stuff. And what we did is we just had a blast. Well, some of our buddies borrowed their skateboard, and we were just playing in the rain. I mean, rolling on the skateboard and going through puddles and, laughing and joking and just cutting up. And we were just completely saturated. It'd been a beat down all day, but we found little things to take our mind off of it, to bring our spirits up a little bit, to get, just because we knew we had another run in this. We had to. We were in the middle of nowhere. We can't camp there underneath the pavilion. We're soaking wet. So, what we did is we tried to boost our spirits as best as possible. So, the moral of the story is, one guy can bring down the whole team. So as long as, you can keep your spirits up and everybody can find little things to keep each other going, then you can get to where your destination is and you can make it to where you need to be. So trying to keep your spirits up and find little things to spark happiness instead of negativity and unhappiness could be the difference of being completely miserable and ruining a whole trip versus turning something to push through one bad day to get 9 days of fantastic awesomeness. So what ended up happening is it rained for many hours, and it ended up letting up just enough. It was a very cold push coming out of there. We ended up getting a hotel room. We did not camp. We were just, we tried. We deliberated everything to try to figure out a way to get a fire started and stuff, but it was really kind of, it wasn't the smart play. So I think we had to go about 40 miles, and we ended up in a little town, wet, soaking. Everything was just, drenched. Ended up getting a little hotel room for the evening. But after that, the moral of the story is after that evening, everything pushed through. And man, we had like 8-9 days of just epic, beautiful, perfect dual sporting and adventure riding, because all the dirt was hit with rain. So, it wasn't tons of dust. It was fantastic. And like I said, sometimes you got to just push through things when the weather gets bad to get to the good stuff. So anyway, moral to the story is, what do you do? Sometimes, as long as you're assessing the situation, the best thing to do is to be smart and safe is number one. But you know what? Sometimes you don't get to pick what is going to happen on your trip. Sometimes your trips are planned. Those are the days, and that's when you're going, and good, bad, or indifferent, you're going to deal with what comes at you. So keep your head high and don't get negative about things. And remember, the adventure is not so much all the great things. It's some of the bad things that you do that really make an adventure memorable to where you remember those things. And if everything's just perfect, you're not going to remember just everything. It's the couple of little things that challenged you the most are the things that you'll remember for the rest of your life. So anyway, hopefully this helps somebody out somewhere down the road. I don't know, maybe not. That's just kind of one of many of my experiences that, that we were hit with weather that was not much fun. And it was all day for a couple of days, and it was just beating us down mentally and physically. And we just found a way through it, and we did it as a group and as a bunch of buddies that I've grew up with. And we pushed through and made it into a fantastic and memorable, and I'll never forget it, because there's more to this story than just that. But I don't want to sit there and do a 4-hour podcast. But that's the whole thing, is it's those little things that you'll always remember. I can close my eyes right now, and I can see us underneath that concrete pavilion in the middle of nowhere on the Indian reservation out in Arizona, with those little kids, and we're just playing in the rain, and it's about 8:00 at night, and we still had at least 40 miles to go, maybe 50 miles to get to that hotel that we got to. So anyway, like I said, it's what you get your head wrapped around is what's going to make your trip. It's going to make it or break it. So anyway, hope that helps out. Be safe out there. Happy holidays. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving, and don't forget, subscribe to our channel, be part of everything. Comments are always welcomed. Any suggestions or anything like that, I sure do appreciate it. And other than that, man, you guys have a fantastic week, and we will see you next week. I'm Joe, Radio 690 ADV 690 out.